Good morning, and nice to see you, and very nice to chant with you. I don't know how much it's felt like chanting with you, but that's how it is here in the morning. And I was chanting the Bodhisattva vows, some of you are familiar with, and we can chant those together this morning, which I'll say more about in a little bit. So, firstly, just to welcome you. Nice to see you greeting each other in the chat, wherever you are. Most of you in kind of European morning time, but some of you elsewhere, somebody there on the west coast of the US, kind of sitting with us in the late evening rather than the early morning. So, here we are beyond time and space in the immediacy where all of life greets us, wherever we think we are, and whenever we think, whatever time we think we are, and wherever we think we are, and however. It's interesting how the time and space spanning nature of internet can remind us of the time and space dissolving nature of presence. We speak of presence, often as if it's something. I'm trying to be present, as if we could make presence a property of the self. Me. How present am I? Whereas, in reality, as it were, regardless of where my attention is, or what I think's happening, or where I think I'm going, where is all of life? I don't mean that in an abstract or philosophical or metaphysical sense, but just experientially, right? Phenomenologically, where's life? Oh, it's here, isn't it? Every experience we've ever had is here. The only access we have to, and what do we mean by life or experience? We mean that which we can see, which we can hear, which we can taste, which we can touch, which we can imagine, which we can conceive of, which we can feel, which we can respond to. There's only one place where all that happens. There's only one place it ever has happened. There's only one place it ever could happen. Here in the immediacy, into which life is constantly welcoming us, inviting us. So, here we are. Ooh, excuse me. I tried to turn volume. I tried to turn the volume down so that didn't blast you too much, especially if you're wearing headphones. Could you put your mic closer? Is this not loud? For Veronique's asking me to put I can turn the volume up a bit, but I'm surprised if this isn't loud enough. So let me know. How's the sound? Sound okay? Yes. So maybe Veronique, you could turn your volume up. Might be the necessary solution there. Yeah, because I think it's okay generally. All right. The theme this week has been contradictions, and kind of managing and inhabiting and including contradictions. And often we see actually that those things which often seem to be contradictory or opposite, actually both necessary. So, hence the idea of chanting the Bodhisattva vows today, because they express a kind of exquisite contradiction. Right? Countless are living beings. I vow to row them all to the further shore. Well, it's like, how are you going to manage that? How are you going to manage to save all beings if they're limitless in number? Countless are the poisons. I vow to purify them all. Countless are the teachings. I vow to understand them all. Countless are the blessings. I vow to absorb or to bow my heart to them all. And the road is endless. I vow to walk it to the very end. Oh yes, the road is endless. I vow to walk it to the very end. So you hear the contradiction in each line. And it seems impossible. It's like either beings are numberless, in which case it's impossible to save them all, or I'm going to save them all, in which case they can't be numberless. Right? But imagine you only have one side. Countless teachings, countless beings to save, countless poisons to purify, countless teachings to understand, and an endless road to walk. Oh God. It engenders a sense of hopelessness, like I'm never going to get there. I can't, it's like, it becomes a sense almost of kind of what's the point? If the road is endless, Doesn't matter how far you walk, you're never going to get any closer to the end. Oh dear. If you only have the other side, right, I am going to save all beings, understand all the teachings, purify all the poisons, take in all the blessings and get to the end of the road. Right? Can you hear the feel how there's something too forceful in that? It's a bit gung-ho. It's also, you're going to be, it's stressful. Right? It's like, come on, get going. So the first half of the contradiction leads to suggests a sense of collapse or hopelessness. The second half suggests a sense of of forcing or fighting. And there's somehow, in putting them together, there's that acknowledgement of the boundlessness of things, right? Like, hey, it's like relax, trying to get to the end of anywhere, right? Relax any sense of achievement or destination or arrival or success. And yet, right, keep walking this path. When you see here's an opportunity to be of service to somebody, help out, right? Right here, where the poisons, the confusions, the contractions, the fears arise. Oh, here's an opportunity to care for experience. So ironically, that sense of something that seems to stretch out so far, endless path, countless poisons, right? And the other side also seems to stretch far. I've got to walk it to the very end, got to purify all the poisons. Actually, the putting them together brings us back to this sense of immediacy. No destination, no end, no success, no measuring. And meanwhile, here we are in the place of great possibility, with the being that might need support in this moment, whether that's here or there, self or other. And of course, that distinction can dissolve. Here we are in this moment. It's like basically that sense of being attuned to, open to, responsive to what needs taking care of in this moment. Because like that famous old line says, making tea, I stop the war. So again, not trying to speak in a metaphysical way, but experientially, right? Where we come to peace here. We meet all beings here. The poisons that might need purifying arrive here. The blessings that are available for us to nourish our heart are here. So what good fortune then that we are right here. And this here-ness is, pretty much the only reliable feature in life. Because all the things that are here are constantly changing, right? But the very fact that they're here, the very fact that our experience emerges out of here, or equally we could say the fact that experience comes to us here, we're always in the right spot. That's what our practice is. In many ways, it's a training to rest into the fact of being here, to understand that life really is here, to see the possibility that's right here. And therefore to live in this here-ness, or to live as this here-ness, or we could say to live as the response that arises out of this here-ness. So friends, we haven't done any chanting this week. I thought we would chant the Bodhisattva vows together, and that would be a good way into meditation. I've just posted them into the chat, so maybe don't post anything else in the chat till after meditation. The sound is cutting out a bit, so it seems like there is a bit of sound issue for people. I'm not quite sure. Like, everything looks good my end. I'm using the USB code for the microphone. Everything's plugged in correctly. All right, well, yeah, most of you seem to think it's all good, so I can only imagine if it's not all good somewhere that it must be you, because if it was me, it would be affecting everybody. Yeah. All right, now that you've all written messages about the sound, I'll text in the Bodhisattva vows again. So, we'll chant them. Let the chanting, so that it really supports a way into meditation, please relax your throat. And you might even now, before we start chanting, just make a very gentle kind of single sound. And let throat soften, let chest soften, let belly soften. And see if you can make the sound kind of with very, very little effort, or almost no effort. And as if you can maybe either you might experience letting the sound sort of rise up and come out, but equally letting the resonance of the sound sort of spread out through your body, as if you're singing to your cells, right? As if your cells are feeling the sound, or maybe even as if your cells are producing the sound, so that it's not just me and my voice. That you just see if we can settle into something a bit more fully embodied than that. And in that way, the chanting really, and the producing of sound and the relaxing into it really can be a very helpful, powerful way into meditation. All right. So a little chanting together and then settling into some sitting. I'll give a little orientation, but not too much as we sit. Countless are living beings, I vow to row them all to the further shore. Countless are the poisons, I vow to purify them all. Countless are the teachings, I vow to understand them all. Countless are the blessings, I vow to bow my heart to them all. I know the road is endless, I vow to walk it to the very end. Yes, though the road is endless, I vow to walk it to the very end. Om Guru Brahma Siddhi Om. Om Guru Brahma Siddhi Om. Countless are living beings, I vow to row them all to the further shore. Countless are the poisons, I vow to purify them all. Countless are the teachings, I vow to understand them all. Countless are the blessings, I vow to bow my heart to them all. I know the road is endless, I vow to walk it to the very end. Yes, though the road is endless, I vow to walk it to the very end. Countless are the blessings I vouch about my heart to them all. I know the road is endless, I'm about to walk it to the very end. Yes, though the road is endless, I'm about to walk it to the very end. Oh, my guru, my Om And in the silence that follows the sound, sensing the natural feel of body sitting, sensing into being here. Sensing into a quality of attention that's relaxed and wakeful and embodied and gentle. Just this. Letting your attention really enter into the feel of sitting here, into the feel of breathing. And the way that you might enter into a cathedral or some other sacred space. Entering quietly, prayerfully. Entering the cathedral of presence. Of embodied awareness. The sacred space of immediacy. Of this moment, this breath. just like this. Settling into being here in a way in which nothing is excluded. Nothing is elsewhere. Sitting without narrow ideas of the present moment in which any sense of future or past somehow is supposed not to intrude. No, letting any thoughts and impressions, memories and imaginings, just letting them do their thing in the background. Just establishing presence not to the exclusion of anything. Actually being present in the midst of everything. We sit here in the presence of all beings, all poisons, all teachings, all blessings. And we establish this steady, gentle, receptive, wakeful presence, which is the capacity to meet and respond to experience wisely or skillfully, moment by moment. So we just sit and breathe, sit and feel, sit and allow. Sit and care. Sit and embrace all that comes and goes. And practice sitting fully. And fearlessly. Fluidly. And freely. Just like this. here. Boundless practice of being here, of entering into here-ness. Boundless immediacy, boundless possibility, boundless presence. And yet not looking for or expecting or demanding some sense of boundlessness. No, just entering into this breath. These bodily sensations. Just opening to and relaxing into experience as it's presenting itself right now. Like this. Nothing is outside of this here-ness. So whatever's happening now, even if your attention, if this reminder shows you your attention was lost in some thought, no need to reject that thought. And just see it rather than wherever the thought was pointing to. Just seeing the thought as part of the texture of this moment, part of the texture of this kind of present moment unfolding that's constantly happening. And just re-establishing yourself, re-establishing a sense of presence here in the midst of all this. Witness to all unfolding. A presence that lights up the immediacy of life. This is a free abiding. May we all of us liberate all beings and purify all poisons, understand all teachings, and take in all the blessings while staying right where we are. While relaxing any sense of imperative. And making tea, maybe stop the war. And may all beings learn to make tea. To be at peace. Oh. I remember once going to Plum Village, maybe 25 years ago, and seeing Thich Nhat Hanh there and listening to a talk. And he said this thing that really stuck with me. It was really beautiful, the way, just mostly the way he said it. He said, "When I sit, I have the feeling I want to sit forever. When I walk, I have the feeling I want to walk forever." And it was very affecting when I heard him say that. One, because he kind of spoke those words with in a very evocative, beautiful way. And two, because I thought, how can that be true? Somehow contrasting that with the idea that I could just want to sit forever. No, it's like it seems like all restlessness, all ambition, all motivation for anything else would have to disappear for that to be true. But then, as I stayed with that saying and how evocative it was, I came to see the truth of it, but also the beauty of it, And it's really worth just feeling for that a little. Maybe that could be the contradiction that we explore tomorrow. How can that be? There to sit as if we would want to sit forever, despite the fact that the various impulses and etc. arise. We'll see. We'll see what tomorrow's contradiction ends up being. But for today, here's a little time for questions you might have. You can post them in here, or oops. Whoops, there's the Bodhisattva vows again. But you can post them in here, or there's that question box. And before I answer questions, just very briefly this morning, but just a reminder that all of this is supported through dana. So I've spoken about that the last couple of days, but just a reminder that the offerings you make are not only very much appreciated, but are very, very essential. They're the only way in which Sangha Live can maintain itself economically. So your dana, of course, supports teachers, me this week, others other weeks, and it supports the platform just to be here. And without your offerings, it can't sustain itself. And like I was saying, dana has been sort of like, participation is steady here, but the dana levels have been sort of dropping over the last few months. And maybe there's there's of course the economic realities of people's situation behind that. And I don't want to stress you. If you can't afford to offer anything, it's totally fine. Please don't offer anything. Please don't offer anything above what is realistic and possible for you. But sometimes it's also the case that we just get familiar with, and the kind of given dana in the past, and the habit just sort of runs out. So I'm just letting you know the situation, that how appreciated, how important, how fundamentally necessary your offerings are, so that Sangha Life can continue to be here, to support you and support anybody else that can show up and practice here. So thank you for the dana, the offering that you feel moved to offer, and thank you for actually offering it. And here's the link from George. Thank you. All right. Clive says, I have noticed regularly, once relaxed, that body gives a little grunt, almost like a little animal on the in-breath. Sometimes it happens twice. I know it isn't falling asleep, because it happens when I'm alert. Something physiological to do with relaxation. Have you heard of others? Yes, Clive, it's very common that actually some phase in practice that actually arises, like you say, out of a kind of relaxation and presence and wakefulness. that some or other phenomena happens. And it may be a sound phenomena, a little grunt. It may be that there's some kind of involuntary movements happen, some sort of swaying or shaking or jerking. It can happen that we get sort of the sense of like energy popping in different ways in the body, or the spine sort of spontaneously feeling like it's realigning. All kinds of different phenomena can happen. It's certainly nothing to worry about. And neither is it anything special. And I would say that's the best way to treat it. Nothing special, nothing problematic. You know, if you want to take anything from it, it arises out of those qualities that you mentioned. Particularly relaxation, but it arises out of relaxing in a certain kind of wakeful way that allows a kind of unwinding of things that otherwise were bound up a little bit. And that unwinding can happen, as I say, as movement or sound or perceptual distortions, the sense of somehow feeling very big or very small or very light or very heavy or all kinds of other things. No cause for alarm. And also no need to develop it as don't make it particularly significant for any reason. Okay. Anything else? I don't see any other questions. There were many at the beginning of the week, but maybe they've resolved themselves somewhat through these days. So, all right, let's stop here. That suits me because I have to go into town this morning, and I can get going. All right, friends. Thank you for your presence and your practice. Your many kindnesses to each other in the messages that you put in the chat. Thank you for your support for each other and for Sangha Live through showing up and sitting here all together, and through the dana that you offer that allows us to keep going like this. Please go gently through the day. See you tomorrow. Thank you.